Well, good morning. Good morning. I guess it's good afternoon for most. Um, Welcome to the Digital Factor. Hey
Hey, Kel.
guys.
Hey there.
Well,
Hey, buddy.
Hi, all.
I'm joined today by my three amigos, Vic Sharma, John Mattiatis, and Jim Falatico. Hey guys.
Hey there.
Hey,
Hello.
hey, Kel.
Hey, I'm really excited today because we're at episode number 8, which
Woo.
signifies a bit of longevity in the world of live cast and broadcast and things of that nature. So, congratulations, guys.
Yeah, we're still here and we're still
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, and loving it. Yeah,
I love it.
yeah,
And hopefully you guys in our audience are as well.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so
Absolutely.
much, guys.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate you all being here and continuing to support us. This is very meaningful and humbling at the same time.
Mhm.
So many of us have heard of Google Ads, pay per click, PPC, and search marketing. They are all one and the same, in case you were wondering. So we'll go ahead and address that now. And really, with Google Ads, one of the things that you're able to do is to get to that coveted first page of Google by paying to play, right? And so what it does is allows you to skip in line. And what we know is all Google searches or all internet searches start with Google, or at least 80% of them do. And so, what we wanted to share with you is that with any tactic, especially those that you're spending money on, you want to make sure that you have a thorough plan in place. The truth of the matter is that most people that are using Google Ads, their goal is actually not to get to the first page of Google. Their goal is actually to get more views, right? As a
Mhm.
result of that
Yeah,
spin.
no doubt.
Um,
Yep.
but, but many business owners don't know how to optimize their Google ads. And that's what we're here for today. We want to maximize your results by having you implement just a few changes. And so, Vic, I know you wanted to start with strategy, so take it away.
Let's do it. Hi, everyone. Great to be here today. So, look, there is no better way to get that instant visibility when marketing your products than Google. And this is because, as you said, Kelly, Google is the most search engine in the world, period. Right? So, if you want to be found, you need to know where to invest, right? But before you start spending money on Google Ads because Vic said so, right? You need to develop your strategy, your Google Ads strategy. Otherwise, it's like throwing spaghetti on a wall and you're hoping it sticks, right? So our goal at Digital Factor is to make this as real as possible. We like you are entrepreneurs as well. So let's just suppose you're the owner of a HVAC company, and you want to run Google Ads, a Google Ads campaign. So where do you start? Right? You start with your goals. Right? Is your goal to grow leads? Is it to grow revenue? Is it to build brand awareness? Is it one, two, or all of the three? Right? Do you want to promote a specific service or product? For example, emergency services. We're open 24/7. Or hey, summer's around the corner. We have some really good AC deals. Right? So next, right? Look, you need to understand your customers with pinpoint accuracy because you're going to be targeting them. Right? So you need to understand what their needs are. What are their pain points? Right? What segment of your customer base do you want to target? Is it the value shopper or the one who owns a mega mansion? Right? Let's now kind of think about also behaviors, right? You want to understand their behaviors. So you want to get down to the bottom is that what will motivate them to say click your ad, right? Is it a seasonal special, or is it decades of experience that they bring in the industry, right? How do they like to shop, right? Where do they shop, right? You got to know their demographics as well. And what I mean by that is their gender, their age, geography, and why is that important? John, you ask. No, it's like, look, baby boomers and millennials shop differently, right? Their motivation triggers are different. So it's important for you to understand them, right? Next, do what we call is keyword research, right? Use keyword tools that are available to you publicly and some you have to pay for, to identify that the keywords people are using to find you. Like for example, is it the best HVAC company or AC company near me? Right? You also want to do some competitors research as well. What are your competitors as far as keywords? What are they bidding on and what they're not bidding on? And use this competitive intelligence, right, to really kind of form and develop your Google ad campaign,
Hey,
right?
Rick, can you talk to us a little bit about, you're talking about keywords. Can you explain what negative keywords are?
Oh, sure. So, for example, Kelly, that's a great question, right? Suppose you are a company that is really kind of focused on residential sales, right? So if someone, for example, is looking for commercial HVAC company, you don't want your ad to appear, and then someone clicks on it, and before you know it, there's like $10 that just went out the door, right? So as important as to do what you are looking to be found on, it's as equally important on what you don't want to be found on, right? And that's going to affect the scoring and all that, which I know Jim's going to be talking about, right? So look, I guess the bottom line here is that you got to do your upfront planning and thinking to differentiate yourself from your competitors. And Kelly, looks like you brought up a Google ad, the search ad. So let's discuss, Kelly and John, maybe you guys kind of weigh in what you like about this ad.
Okay, so one thing, this is what the search was. They looked for HVACs in Burlington, Wisconsin. And so one of the things that I would notice is, hey, this is exactly what I was looking for. So immediately I want to know that. And then this is in what's called the first position. We're not going to talk about the zero position right now, but you can see here that we have 30 years of experience, that they are experts, that they're 24/7. So this would really matter to me if it was the middle of the night in a hot Atlanta, which is where I am, and I need somebody right away. So those would all be compelling and things that would make me want to click on the ad. What about you, John?
When it comes to paid search, I always look for ads that generate emotion. So the copywriting is critical here. And so any words like the ones you see here, you see the word exceptional, you see the word expert, you see dependable. Even the special offer is another phrase that jumps out at people. So it's been proven over the years that to generate that click of that ad, which is what you want, you have to stir up some emotion. And those are the kind of words that resonate with people.
Yeah, so John and Kelly, right, the two things that stuck to me right here is like, how do you build that instant trust, and then also build that instant emotional connectivity, right? You have 8 seconds to grab someone's attention today. That's how it works, right? So look, guys, what you just showed us, Kelly, it didn't happen by magic, right? And it's not just if you're willing to pay, you will appear there. So Jim, I'm going to pass the baton on to you. Can you talk about what it takes to get that ad to appear?
Sure. So, if you bring that ad back up, if you look at it, Google wants to ultimately give you the best possible opportunity or the best experience, right? And so they want to provide the ad that gives what the searcher is actually searching for. Google's customer is that searcher. So Google has what's called a quality score, Google quality score. So the higher the Google quality score, the better off you'll be.
Okay, Jim, come on. I'm sure the audience is like, what is a Google quality score?
So we wanted to talk about Google quality score. Google takes a look at all the ads, and there's 3 factors they look at when they look at these ads before they put them online. And the 3 different factors are the expected click-through rate. So what percentage of the people actually click on the ad? They want to make sure that that's the highest they can find. The ad relevance, meaning if someone was searching for HVAC in Burlington, they want to make sure that their ads reflect that. And then lastly is the landing page experience. So once they actually do that click through, what does that landing page look like? Does it match up with what they were looking for? So a Google quality score, it's something that Google does. You want to be in the 8 to 10 range. But the nice thing about a Google quality score is if you have that type of higher level, then you're going to come up more often. So there's going to be more potential for you to get that business. And B, your click-through cost per click could be lowered by Google because, again, their customer is that searcher and they want to make sure they provide the best experience they can. So they're willing to kind of share the profits a little bit and give you a little bit of a discount because you do such a good job. So
Wow,
I want to go
so
on.
you get rewarded for, Jim, you get rewarded for doing building good ads.
Exactly right. And Google wins too because they're going to keep their customers coming back and doing more searches. So I wanted to go a little bit further deeper into landing pages. Landing pages are where after you click where you go, you're going to go to someone's website, right? So you click on the ad, you go to the landing page. And the landing page is a couple of things. One, you want to make sure that they're mobile friendly. More than 50% of the people today are on a mobile phone when they're searching, especially when they're doing a local search. And if you think about it, like Kelly was talking about, you need air conditioning fixed now. You're searching on your cell phone. And when you come to that landing page, you want to be able to feel comfortable and feel that trust factor that what you searched for is actually there. The big thing here, you see that phone number. So if you want to call right away on a mobile device, you click that and you'll be calling them instantaneously. If you want to just fill out a form, the form is there. So it's important that the landing pages are relevant, that they have that trust factor. And another thing that's really important is using dynamic landing pages. So you're going to ask me to define dynamic landing pages because that's
Please
another
do.
digital marketing term, but a dynamic landing page basically says whatever service or product that person is searching for in a geolocation that they're searching for, whether they type in Burlington, Wisconsin or near me, when they go to that landing page, those exact terms show up. So that way the searcher isn't confused. It doesn't just go to a contact page or the home page. It goes to the page that talks about HVAC in Burlington, Wisconsin. And so there's that comfort that what I searched for actually showed up. And I trust that Google gave me the right information and that now this customer, Master Services, is a potential that I want to click through and make that phone call and get them to do service. So
Hey, Jim, if I could interrupt just for a second here, I want to talk about this is a landing page, and this is a really good example of a landing page. One of the books that I use all the time is right behind me. It's called Don't Make Me Think. And the reason that I use that particular book is because it's old. Actually, it's not a new rendition. So if you look it up on Amazon, you're like, whoa, hold on, it's still relevant. Yes, is the answer. But what they really talk about is that when you are creating a landing page, there are 3 things that you want to make sure that you do. And so if you think about, let's just talk about the page where people were before they went to this. This is where I was. So from that, I click this, right? And then I end up here. So the first thing I'm asking myself is, am I in the right spot? So if I click on this and this starts talking about building a house, then you're going to have a high bounce rate because it's not relevant. It's not where I thought I was going to be. Number 2, do I trust it? And let me just point out some key factors. I'm looking at 32 years here. I'm looking at a telephone number. Believe it or not, a telephone number is the number 1 trust factor that people are looking at for the things that Jim talked about just a minute ago. And the final thing is, do I know what to do next? And here I have a couple of options of what to do next. I could schedule a service. I could make a telephone call, or I could have somebody to call me. All of these are really good. So as far as I'm concerned, check, done. I'm good. This is great. I'm going to spend time here because this is where I want it to be. I'm getting the information that I wanted before I got here.
Well, I appreciate that because this is one of my clients. And so we've developed good landing pages.
Good job, Jim.
Yeah.
So, we talked about all this as far as, you write the ads, you make sure that your landing pages are in good shape. You want to make sure that you're getting good click-through rates and all those things. But basically you want to say at the end of the day, is it worth it? Am I doing the right thing? So John's going to talk us through kind of how you measure success when you do Google Ads. Take it away, John.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. And if everybody can't tell already, Jim's been nominated our definition pro going forward for the digital market. So we appreciate that, Jim. Anyway, let's talk about measurement, because we know how important that is. And when it comes to measurement, it really is all about aligning against your business goals and the impact on your organization. And we're going to look at 3 levels of measurement: the boardroom level, the brand level, and the campaign itself. So let's zone in on the boardroom first. And no surprise to anybody on the call, I'm sure, at the boardroom level, it's all about measuring sales increases and revenue. If you're an e-commerce business, it's fairly easy. All of your purchase data is captured in your analytics. You can also look at your in-store sales foot traffic ever since you launched the campaign and look at the increases there. From an online perspective, keep an eye on your sales leads and the growth in sales leads since you launched. But the most important ones at the boardroom level are all about revenue and return on ad spend and return on investment. The ad spend's pretty clear, but also keep an eye on all the other costs that go into creating that ad, especially the creative costs, because they can add up. So keep looking at your revenue relative to all those costs, and you'll be in good shape with your boardroom members.
So, John, you're telling us the boardroom cares about return on investment? Are you?
Who knew?
Just these days, and that never happened before. Okay, so let's shift a little bit here and go to the brand level. At the brand level, we're looking at the top of your sales funnel, awareness and engagement. And anybody can engage in an expensive study that looks at a control group who never saw your ad campaign versus a group that did see your ad campaign, but that gets fairly pricey. We're going to focus in today on the online measurements. And one of the first ones you're going to look at when you launch any campaign is the volume of branded searches that are increasing as a result of your campaign. So keep an eye on those. Next, as I mentioned earlier, let's look at the top of funnel conversions. Sometimes the campaign is just so good, as Jim sort of showed us earlier, where the ad is amazing, the person clicks on it, they go to that amazing landing page that you saw earlier, and everything's there for them, as Kelly outlined. And so they click on the call to action, and instantly you have a conversion and a callback situation. Those campaigns are amazing, but they're fairly rare. So you actually need to look at other measurements like micro conversions. And what are those all about? This is all about engaging with your website. Things like the number of video views on your landing page, if you have a video on your landing page. You might have an e-booklet on your landing page, and it's getting downloads as a result of your campaign. And last but not least, something like a newsletter might be on your landing page, and it's getting a number of new subscriptions as a result of your campaign. These are all great signs and things you should be monitoring in a paid search campaign. So let's go to step 3, the campaign itself and the performance metrics that are important to monitor in the campaign. At this level, you're looking for constant relevancy and resonance with your customer base. Don't forget the 2 key metrics that Jim mentioned earlier: the click-through rate of the ad itself and the conversions that your ad is generating. If those are low trending, your ad, your landing page, or even the way you're targeting your audience could be a huge problem, needs to be re-examined and improved if that's low. Also, continue to check on your website engagement. Things like bounce rate. Kelly mentioned bounce rate earlier. Your average session duration. So how long are they actually staying on your pages? How long are they staying on your website? And last but not least, the average of number of pages they're visiting across your website is another indicator of engagement. I'm going to close on the one that's most important to me because I have a personal story associated with it. It's one of the most important metrics. It's the cost per click or cost per conversion, a key one to keep an eye on. The bottom line is, are you paying too much for this campaign? Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here. Let's say you're a business that sells t-shirts, and the t-shirts are selling for $15, but your cost per click is $10. That's a very small ROI. is it really worth it to keep going at $5 revenue per sale? Let's say you're a lawnmower company and you're selling those lawnmowers for $2,000 and your cost per click is only $100. That's a very reasonable and excellent ROI at $1,900 per sale. So it gives you a sense of some of the things you should be looking at. Now, I'll never forget the lesson I learned with this particular client early on in my digital career. Unfortunately, with this client, we discovered halfway through the campaign that his revenue was too small to justify the continuing the campaign. Unfortunately, the client hadn't looked very closely at his revenue generation relative to what he was spending, and we had to cut the campaign short. So since then, whenever I'm working with a client, I really look closely at how they generate revenue because we don't want to stop the campaign in mid-stride.
Well, John, that's really important. But one thing that I want to highlight here is that just because you have $10 or $15 item doesn't mean that this is wrong for you. It could be that this is what you want to introduce to them, and what you're actually trying to do is to get them to buy more products so that when they check out, it's actually worth more than that. You also want to see, what is the lifetime value of this customer? Do they typically buy one t-shirt and then they come back every quarter to buy another t-shirt? So you look at the lifetime value of that customer and put strategies in on that. So with anything, again, it starts with a plan, but you definitely want to know those numbers to make sure that the dollars make sense.
Yeah, and I guess, Kelly, to add to what you just said right now, I would say, look, you can never anticipate everything, but the more that you have planned well, it mitigates situations like this. And you can even take a situation like this and capitalize it and gain insights, right? So
Absolutely, yeah. Keep an eye on your revenue. Understand how your customer generates revenue is the main lesson learned at this level.
Yeah, absolutely. I just checked out in comments and I don't see any, but if you have any, feel free to do so. Or if after this is no longer live, you can still put comments. We continue to respond to those. But if I could just recap, what we heard today is that if you're going to do Google Ads, you want to make sure that you plan accordingly so that you're getting the most out of your spend. Vic talked a lot about making an ad that is compelling, so that people will click in the first place. Sorry. And then we heard from Jim that you want to create dynamic landing pages so that you can make sure that what they looked for matched from a geo perspective. And then you want to make sure that you're capturing visitor information and making sure that they have the opportunity to get in touch with you. And finally, John talked about measurement results. You want to address your metrics that matter to the boardroom, the brand, and the campaign. So if you find yourself running Google Ads today and you're just really not sure of how you're performing, you can reach out to us. We'll be happy to audit your campaign, take a look at your quality score, and just let you know if you're doing great or if you have more work to do. We'd be happy to do that. And so with that, we've ended episode number 8. And thanks, guys. I think this was a great one for the books.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you'll join us though next time, we are planning on talking about something that I think is super exciting, which is recession proofing your business. So look forward to having that conversation next month, and look forward to seeing you guys again then.
Absolutely. Looking forward to
Thank
seeing
you.
everybody. Thanks for spending time with us.
Thanks for coming.
appreciate it.